you guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to do a book review on one of my favorite writers of all times, and that's Holly Jackson. I'm pretty sure you might have guessed the books that I'm going to talk about, and that is the series of Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's talk about the book that started it all, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder itself, book 1. You see, when I first ordered this book, I didn't have much expectations on it. You see, before that, I am kind of like a girl who used to read almost all of Sidney Sheldon and then Agatha Christie's novels. Agatha Christie's is like my favorite novels of all time. I will sit hours and hours reading it. So when I first ordered this book, I didn't have much expectation on it because I felt that maybe I just wanted to give it a chance. I just wanted to see what's the hype behind this. And trust me, I have to literally thank myself, thank you past me, for getting this book, because this has become one of my favorites of all time. And there is a particular reason behind it. It's not like the regular novels that you might have encountered when it comes to reading detective novels. It's entirely on a different basis. I'll tell you why. First of all, you are going to read this novel from the point of view of the detective herself, who is Pip. And she is a high school student who's doing a project for her college internship based on a real life incident that happened in her neighborhood. So Pip decided for her college internship, she's going to investigate a case that has been closed a long time back when she was a kid by the police. So Pip is quite adamant. She feels that there are so many loopholes in this particular murder, and she is on the lookout for finding out evidences that proves that the person who they thought was the murderer might actually be a victim. And is she right or is she wrong forms the rest of the novel. And you know what? This particular novel is kind of different when compared to other mystery novels that you might have read, because I'll tell you why. And I know that there are lots of novels where you're taking the point of view of the detective, but this is a completely different level. I mean, look, there is a production log. You literally get to be the detective over here, and every time that Pip collects evidences, she literally makes a note of it, and you can always come back few chapters while you're reading, try to go over the evidences that Pip has collected, and you could also participate in this particular investigation scene. And trust me, I kind of did. And was I right to find the murderer? Well, I was not, unfortunately. But then again, I did get a clue for the book number 3. Let me tell you another reason why I find Holly Jackson's style of writing to be more intriguing, to be more interactive, because you literally get the investigations that's been happening over there, and also you get to be a part of Pip's world, where she collects the person of interest. Persons of interest is kind of like very new to me, because you don't get that suspect list in almost all the novels that you probably might have read in other thrillers or investigation novels. But then again, here, every time that you make or Pip makes a person of interest, there will be another chapter where that person of interest, the suspect, gets striked out. Like, okay, this is not probably the reason why this person might be a murderer. So every time she makes up the list, every time you make up a list, every time you suspect somebody, there will be a chapter following it where you get to know that you have lost that battle. Trust me, my friends, I made quite a list of suspects when I was reading this novel, and every time I lost it. And trust me, by the end of the book, when you are reading the final chapter, you'll be gasping. You'll be, oh my god, this is completely unexpected. Because trust me, I kind of was not expecting the character who was the real murderer in this, and the reason behind why he did the murder in the first place. My god, literally I was shocked. I was literally feeling like my mouth was hanging down when I was finishing this novel. I get the hype. I get the reason why kids are obsessed with this Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Alright, now moving on to book number 2, Good Girl, Bad Blood. I just couldn't forget the time when I took up the second book, because I took up the second book just 10 minutes after reading the first book. I was like, I just launched myself, grabbed onto my second book, started reading it like a maniac, and trust me, I was getting all weird comments on how I'm becoming so much of a bookworm. I'm addicted to books rather than mobile phones from my mother, and I just don't care. I just want to read more. I just have to get myself into Pip's world. And boy, this felt like a roller coaster, because I don't know, I have mixed feelings for this book, if you ask me, because the first book was so exciting, was so I couldn't stop myself from reading it. I couldn't sleep because I had literally dreams of Pip coming alive, of investigation and everything. And I expected the same thing from book 2, but I was quite disappointed, if I say so myself, because I don't know, maybe I had high expectation. Maybe if I read book number 2 first when compared to book number 1, maybe my expectation would have been less, because book 1 set that standard, and book 2 by the same author, by the same characters, and it's going to be a different investigation, will definitely make you feel like I want a better investigation in this, right? Like better story in this. The characters are the same, and book 2 starts immediately right after book number 1. The consequences of book number 1 will be will be there in the first few chapters. And yes, this is a different investigation when compared to book number 1. And well, if you ask me if I liked it, I do have a mixed review for this one, because it felt a little bit of a drag at first. The first few chapters were kind of dragging, were kind of slow. It was like this slow burn thriller, wherein the first book, it was entirely different. I wouldn't call it boring, but then again, it's kind of a drag, to be honest. And from part 2 to part 3 onwards, it's good. It's good. But it's not to the kind of level that book 1 has established itself. It's not excellent, but it's good. All right. And by the way, you need to know about this whole story so that you'll be able to understand the plot line for book number 3. And then we're moving on to book number 3, As Good as Dead. Honestly, if I have to choose between book number 3 or book number 2, I would go for book number 2. I know, I said book number 2 is kind of like a drag, but then again, it was a drag up to just the first part of the book, probably around 18 chapters or 16 chapters perhaps. But this book, part 1, and it was a drag till 28th chapter. Trust me, I noted down the chapter, because till 28 I had to convince myself I have to finish this series. And that's the only reason why I sat till 28th chapter to read it and understand Pip and her world, how she has changed. Trust me, she has changed dramatically, drastically she has changed. Like when compared to the innocent girl that she was, who didn't know how the world functioned, who had high hopes on law when, in book number 1. And the kind of a girl she has become in book number 3, where she's going to take, okay, spoilers alert, she's going to take matters into her own hands rather than trusting law. That was good. That was good, actually, if you ask me, because I really agree with Pip. In this world, you need to be evil too sometimes. Trust me, you have to be. That's it for today, you guys. I hope you liked my videos. If you do, please do give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell icon, and share to your friends. Until next time, it's tada bye bye. See you from Akila.